Hey guys, we're back again just for our weekly update for our Soldier On experience for the charity Soldier On. I'm Dean McRae, I'm the Freedom Chef, and I'm here with Jesse Bell, who we need to come up with a really cool nickname for Jesse.
Used to be called Wingnut.
Well, that'll work if you want to be called Wingnut, I don't mind.
Works for me.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. So, anybody who's watching or is about to tune in, as happens with these things, people tend to watch or they don't watch, and then they like, and then they share, and then they jump back on and catch on. And the key to it is trying to be a bit consistent and giving some people something a bit interesting to talk about. How's your week been?
Yeah, mate. All right. Just clocking it up in 6s and 9s, and I'm aiming to do a 12 clicker this week. The 9s are hurting enough with the injuries from grunt work, but 48k halfway mark. I've noticed that you and Cam and some of the others, you guys have racked up a shit ton of Ks, so good to see.
Mate, I'm
proud of everyone.
Of a Fitbit. So the first week and a half, I was doing all these Ks, and I'm going, how do I? I'll go and buy a contraption and make sure that we get across the line.
Yeah, I just drive with the car, and I'll map it out that way. So I just do with the odometer. It was a bit of a challenge, obviously. Mapping out the 9 clicker last week with a fucking car that does miles, and then I've got to do maths on the fly as to kilometers. So I'm bad at maths.
I used to cycle really competitively. So Dad used to, he'd get in the car and he'd go and measure, and there was all these unauthorised spray cans on the road, 5 kilometres and 10 kilometres out different roads all around the area. And, nobody had a clue. And I don't know, the council didn't approve stiff shit for council, but that was how Dad used to rock and roll. So he'd just go out there. I'd know if I got out to that point, that was 5Ks from my place. And that was how I did all
I used to pace. You learn that in the army. So I know that when my foot hits the ground, my left foot hits the ground 70 times, I know I've gone 100 metres.
Yeah, right.
So so 700 times as a K left foot hits the ground. But been a while since I've paced and be able to concentrate on what I'm doing as well. So
fair enough, mate. Fair enough. So it's been a pretty good week. I've started this little contraption here allows the Ks to be fairly accurate.
Nice.
With my camera, not that I'm that interesting anyway, but
Right, mate. Oh yeah, my son just popped up on the chat. That's my son, John Wick.
Oh, hey mate, how you going? Good tuning in. So mate, it was pretty interesting. You work out how many Ks people do, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good to actually analyse a little bit and just see how many Ks you clock up and whether you're having a go or not. I'm on target. I'll hit my 96 Ks. I'm pretty confident. I just want to try and time it so that the registered kilometres are the ones that get me to 96 kilometres or bloody close to it at the top of Mount Cosio in 2 weeks' time. So I'm sort of starting to get really pumped up for that, actually. And the young bloke, I don't think he quite knows what he's in for, but he's starting to get it into his head that we're going to climb this bloody mountain, and it's the biggest one in Australia. And let's be fair, once you've clocked the biggest mountain in Australia, life gets a bit easier in theory. I've already taken on Australia's biggest mountain. What's next?
That's exactly right. And speaking of young fellas, mate, like my young fella's been doing it with me, and little lady, my young daughter, she's done a few Ks as well, and just absolutely proud as punch of them. Like my young fella, just this past weekend, he cracked out 15K. There's not a lot of 12-year-olds who can say they've done that.
No, so, that's brilliant.
Absolutely proud of him, and he's done so well. And in infantry, most people call it ticker, and sorry to be a bit crass here, but in infantry, we just used to call it cunt. And he's got a lot of cunt. He just, he's fucked, and he just keeps going and going and going. Yeah. So, he's got a lot of cunt, and very proud.
You got a bit of mongrel in you. You keep going, you keep going, you keep going. And that's what it's all about, particularly from where we sit for this particular charity is, these are the guys who have put their minds and their bodies to the limit. And afterwards, of course, they come back to, we'll call this reality. I call it a bit of a dystopian madhouse when I watch the news. It's fucking mental. But
Yeah.
You know, look, we do get to look at it, and unless you've experienced it, which I haven't, you can't imagine what you guys go through or have been through, you know, in these combat situations and in this military situation. And it's supposed to be tough, and I don't think any of you blokes are deluded enough when you sign up to go, fuck, this will be easy. I'm just going to cruise
fuck
in.
no. And like, yeah, just to demonstrate what we're actually doing and why we're doing it. And again, I'm so thankful for the support of the sponsors and people that are supporting what we're doing. And even locally here, like, you know, so many people are giving us shout outs and whatnot. But yeah, like, we lost a clearance diver. I think I was telling you about. We lost a clearance diver last Friday. And yeah, his name was Max Gunn. And you know, that's the Navy Special Forces clearance divers. They you know, they disarm mines, or they do clearances for mines. They often fight underwater with frogmen who are planting limpet mines on ships, so they plant limpet mines themselves. It's a very difficult job, and yeah, no, and it's not just regular guys, regular infantry or regular soldiers. It's so many of these special forces guys. So you got to be fucking hard in here, man. Like, you got to really, really be focused and hard in here, and they're just topping themselves left, right, and center. And this is why we're doing what we're doing. And for me, this is why I'm so thankful to our sponsors, and I'm so thankful to the support for everyone for what we're doing. It's been fantastic. I think we're over 1,800 out of the 2,500 so far.
We are, and we're really at the halfway mark, to be fair. Like, I mean, we did our introductory, then we did our first week recap. This is our second week recap. And you know, we're 1,800 from a $2,500 goal. Now, I'm not shy in saying that it'd be nice to hit $10,000 or $1 million or whatever the case may be. But we've got to start somewhere, and this is our first year doing this. And I'm hoping that we can leverage this into a team next year where 5 or 10 people might go, fuck, well, these guys did it. Can we join up for your team next year? I'm not going to just sort of stop at this and go, right, one and done. I'm going to go a bit like I do the Ride for Joe charity. We do that annually. And, you know,
I'm in, man. I'm in.
Mate, and that's it. The first year we did Ride for Joe, we raised $5,000 for the Wollongong Cancer Ward.
Nice.
Yeah, and they're for no other reason than we fucking wanted to, which still seems to confuse people when I do these things, because we fucking wanted to. Nobody asked me to. There was no communist gun at my head saying you need to give money to the hospital. We just got off our asses and did it. And last year we did, I think it was up nearly at $8,000 for our second go round. So, and it just shows that if you build a bit of a community and a bit of an interest in it and a bit of support, you can make things happen. Now, $8,000 probably isn't going to change the whole world for the Wollongong Cancer Ward, but
it's something, man.
But it's
significant.
Helps, and it adds something to a family there that's, you know, fucking struggling or can't afford, you know, the accommodation while their loved one's dying in their arms, you know. And if I can help out in those little ways, I'm happy to do so. It doesn't bother me at all. And this is what I hope we can sort of grow with this, you know, 2 or 3 charity events a year, different causes, because we've all got different causes. But anything I can help that's a good positive thing to do, we can do. And we know I love our troops. I feel funny calling them troops.
Yeah, that's
like
the other thing. Again, like, I'm so glad you're a team leader. Like, you're really an outlier with that kind of stuff for your crowd. And I'm not trying to give shit to your crowd, but no, it's awesome. And just the people that have supported us in this as well. I don't have a lot of faith in humanity whatsoever. I don't have fucking any faith in humanity whatsoever, to be perfectly honest. But this is kind of partially restoring it, because even people that I wouldn't have expected to jump on board, and you, our team leader, are one of them. Yeah, it is mind blowing and very heartwarming and very humbling, and I'm really, really glad to be a part of it, and I'm so glad for all the support and whatnot. It is restoring my faith just a tiny, tiny, tiny smidgen in humanity, because generally my belief is humanity is absolutely shit. But no, these people are just amazing. I'm so thankful.
And I guess that outlook you've got, for me, that's a bit sad. You know, look, I take the piss out of people a lot, right? And I'm a fairly little bastard. But at my core, I actually believe most people want to do right by other people. Most people don't want to be assholes. But I also think that the way the system is set up, it sort of encourages it. You know, it's a dog-eat-dog world. It's you've got to for you to be able to have and thrive, you've got to take from somebody else. And it's a real negative way of looking at life. I sort of, you know, I'm always trying to sort of put out the vibes that, I'll do for you. I don't expect anything in return. But down the track, somebody else will pay it forward. I've had tough times. And some people who I wouldn't have expected showed up. And I'm fucking, how'd you get here? You had a list of people that I kind of considered, you weren't the one. And, it's a good thing. Like if I can help a couple of vets who then can help a couple more vets, who can then help a couple more vets, who can probably teach some young blokes a little bit of fucking discipline and young ladies as well, a little bit of discipline and a little bit of a few standards for their lives. Ricardo Bosi, I'm not sure if you're familiar with him politically.
But... No, I'm a fan of Ricardo, and I know Dia is mates with both him and his wife, and they seem absolutely wonderful. Yeah,
great people. And I look at somebody like Ricardo and a lot of the areas that he and I don't agree on are this much.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's pretty reasonable to disagree with people much. And I go, that's fair enough. You're entitled to that portion. And he's, and he looks at me. And
same with me and you, mate. There's a lot we agree on and a lot we disagree on, and that's perfectly fine. But going back to what you were saying about, not keeping tabs and it all comes back and paying it forward. Like that's how it works in a battalion, man. Like, you help each other out. You go out of your way to help each other out. You help your brothers out, and it will come back in the end. You're not trying to keep tabs. You're going, hey man, I fucking did this for you last week.
I saved $25 last week, and I carried this for you, and like, can you imagine the world? But that's just a sad indictment on human.
Well, my view is not exactly unusual. Sorry, mate. My view is not exactly unusual, especially for grunts. We don't see the best side of humanity. Now, I haven't been on the two-way range. I've only done peacekeeping, but a lot of the guys have. But even doing peacekeeping, man, you see the fucking worst of humanity. And then you do security or something like that afterwards, like I did, and you just see the scum fucks of the earth, and they seem in the majority, and I think they are, to be perfectly honest. But I like your view. I wish I could have your view. I just don't. It's you look through, especially with history as well. You just see people killing people, and you see people raping people, and you see people thieving from people. And but on a positive note, though, again, with what we're doing here. I can't fucking believe it. 500 was my personal goal. We're sitting at 944. The last donor was my son, even though he's doing all of the kilometers with me.
Yeah.
And he insisted. I said, dude, just save your money. You're doing the Ks, man. We're doing the easy part. That's the other thing I wanted to point out. What we're doing here, Dean, and what Cam's doing, and what Adrian's doing, and what these other people are doing. We're doing the easy part, man. We just got to walk case. Like these people are giving up hard-earned money in an economic downturn, a planned economic downturn. That's exactly what this fucking pandemic is to economically cripple us. And it's just it has blown my mind and has restored my faith somewhat in humanity. And that, that's basically it. Yeah.
It is. It's a warm and fuzzy feeling, mate. It's like every time I see a new donation come up on the page, and I don't fully understand the way the page works. It's got team donations, and then each one of us has raised a couple of $100, or in your case, nearly $1,000, which is fucking amazing. And you look at the whole thing, and it makes you feel good, and you go, this is fantastic. Like people contributing, and you don't have to contribute a lot. And I've had people say to me, but I haven't got very much to give, but I'd like to. So don't give a lot. It's a lot for you.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I know you're not a Christian, Dean, but I am. Yeah, it's like the story where you had people giving that old lady shit for she only put like a copper in the tin at the temple, and people were saying, "Oh, that's so little." And then Christ turns around and says, "No, she's given everything that she can possibly give. She's given more than these people dumping gold and silver in there." And it's the same concept, whether you're Christian or not. And it just blows my mind,
mate. And 100%. $5 from somebody who only has 10 in some ways is in some ways a bigger statement than $5 from somebody who has 5 million.
Yep.
It's and that's how it is, And again, that's real people who see the work that these veterans have done. And as you said, you lost the guy this past week. That's fucking ridiculous, The fact that we're still sitting here watching our veterans come home, and the state that they're in, and anybody who's been to an RSL club or an ex-servicemen's club, you can see a lot of these old guys, and they're a mess.
Yeah.
And you know, and they sit at these clubs and they drink until they're fucking obliterated. And, you know, and you can, and I've seen them over the years where, you know, you've got people taking the piss out of them and, oh, the silly old bastard. And it's like, you've got no idea.
Well, that's our crutch, man. That's the thing. That's our crutch, especially infantry. That tends to be our crutch.
But the people who take the piss out of these people clearly don't realise that in those few months in Vietnam or, you know, Iraq or Rwanda or Afghanistan, wherever they've been, I don't know how many. There probably aren't that many World War II vets floating around these days, but they've seen more in that portion of their life than most of these soft cocks will ever see, and including me. I don't serve. So unless
you are one strange breed, man. I'm so happy to have met you. I'm so happy to be doing this. I've never heard anything like that come out of the mouth of anyone that has your politics, man, like ever. That's so amazing.
Strange, I suppose, but I mean, look, but that's to me, that's what it is. They've seen these things, you know, and I've never seen it. I never will, unless an actual war breaks out in this country. I'm never going to go through or see any of that stuff firsthand. It's just not going to happen. I can't bring myself to go and fucking sign up for Scott Morrison or Anthony Albanese or any of their fucking armies. So I just can't bring myself to do it. So unless an actual war breaks out here, I'm not going to see any of that stuff. But the people who take the piss out of these veterans you see in ex-services clubs and whatever, and I've seen it. I've nearly been in fights in these joints because I go, oh, pull your.
I have been in fights with people who do
that. Like, it's like, dude, fuck off. Seriously, what's wrong with you people? You know, these guys deserve our respect, and know that they often don't cope well. And the reason they don't cope well is because they aren't fucking looked after.
Yeah.
You know, we all know how I feel about the government. You know, and look, we want to stop wars, we just stop funding them. Simple as that. You know, if these pricks didn't have all of our tax dollars to fucking throw at wars, we wouldn't be in endless wars. And obviously, Australia's a little bit less pro-war than the US, but it's still.
Just on that quickly, and I know this goes against the grain, but it's something that I've wanted to get out for quite a while with that. So, like, people have to understand the geopolitical nature. Now, I know that yourself, you're a libertarian, and you're definitely not going to agree with what I say, but the situation is, okay, 1870, Britain withdrew their military from Australia, and that was where Federation actually came from, because no single colony had enough people to repel a major power, and Russia, Germany, and France actually had their eyes on the continent and wanted to take it over. And then, so since then, even now, like when I served, we only had enough military power to defend the bottom half of Tasmania for 72 hours.
Yep.
Like we have a military that punches well above its weight, and I'm certainly not giving shit to the ADF in any way, shape, or form. However, so the insurance is our protector. It used to be Britain, and now it's America. And the premium that we pay is participating in these foreign wars that they start. That's just basically how it works. And because even with a population of 25 million, man, we got a lot of fucking real estate and nowhere near enough personnel, nowhere near enough hardware, anything like that, especially since the government fucking disarmed us in 96. We don't have a fucking hope. So that's why that's when people ask why we're always participating in these foreign wars, that's why. That's essentially
I fully understand why we do it. And I'm the guy who's going, fuck China. If we're going to have to side with somebody, let's side with Britain and America. That makes sense to me. But at my core, I am anti-war.
I know, and I respect that, man. That's fine.
I understand, but again, fuck, if some asshole's coming here into my backyard, bet your ass I'm going to fight my ass off. So I look at it and go, like it's about not. It's the other thing we tell our kids, don't fucking start it, but if you have to get into it, finish the fucking thing and then go home and chill out, and that's
exactly it. Yep.
I'm anti-war, but I'm not fucking pro-victim. That's a whole different, and it's a grey area, and it's hard to fucking explain. I still can't explain it properly.
I can explain it for you right now. I can tell you exactly what you are. So you're not a pacifist, you're a stoic.
Well, yeah, there is an element of that. Yeah, there is a little.
So it's not that you're a pacifist and you just throw your hands up and let someone come in and smash your kid and smash you and whatever, steal your shit. But you'll defend to the death when you have to, but you don't go starting shit. That's a stoic.
Yeah. That's
The Spartans were stoics.
It's probably a fair assessment, you know. Like, I don't go looking for fights, and I'm not interested. But I don't think most of you blokes who join the army go in there looking for fights either. I think you go in there to serve the people and protect the population. You know, like fuck. I've never met a bloke who served who went, fucking how good was John Howard? Fuck, I love Scott Morrison. Fucking Kevin Rudd was the best. Julian Gillard's amazing. Not fucking one have I ever heard say that. I've heard a few talk about their commanding officers with fucking love and respect. And I've heard quite a few talk about love of country, which I get.
We all do. And truth be told, man, most soldiers are apolitical.
Yeah.
Like, I was apolitical. I didn't get political until about 6 years ago, and that was years after I got out. Most soldiers are apolitical, and the reason is it doesn't matter who sends you, you go. But you sign up to serve your nation. You see the nation as an extended family. And I'm so happy that you actually understand that. Like I said, you blew my fucking mind in that first live that we did a couple of weeks ago with that. Because, it's so unusual to hear from someone of your leaning. It's, again, it still blows my fucking mind, man. Hats off. Hats off, man.
Oh, mate, look, you don't making me all warm and fuzzy.
I'm not trying to suck your dick here. I'm just saying, like, it still blows my mind. Like, fucking well done.
I do appreciate the compliment. I do know I tend to think outside the box a little bit. Even my own people don't fucking worship me or love me all that much. Let me tell you, like, well, you can't say that and fucking that vibe. Fuck off.
You're outside of our narrow political dogma. How fucking dare you? And it happens all over the spectrum.
It happens in every political spectrum. There's the same nonsense that goes on. You disagree with one thing, well, you're not a pure fuck.
Yeah.
But let's get back on topic, because obviously, talking about veterans is the topic. But
sorry, mate. Yeah, sorry.
No, fuck. I just don't want to be here till midnight, mainly because people will get bored. Watching you and I have a good time. This is where you and I should be going and having a beer together. But mate, so what's coming up this week in your kilometres? What's coming up with your fundraising? Have you got any actual plans of anything specific or anything else you want to do or you're going to do? And what's the plan, mate?
Just do what we keep doing. Like, doing a 9-clicker tomorrow, a bit more of a scenic one, because mostly it's been rural. I know people might be getting a bit bored with seeing the rural stuff. So we're actually doing a coastal one tomorrow. 5 clicks along the beach, and then another 4 at other scenic places. And then later on in the week, probably not the next day, but the day after, it's going to be another rural one, because that's where we have the longest roads. But going to do a 12-clicker. And I think that's probably the limit of my physical capabilities, given the injuries that I have. But so that'll be that. And share it to the various groups and whatnot. Had a lot of support, a lot of people. Very, very.
Who relates to you and donates some money? We've helped the vet. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. So what about yourself?
Mate,
you're doing Kosciuszko, I know that, but yeah.
We're doing Kosciuszko. That's 2 weeks away. This week we're doing, so Sunday is going to be a big one. We're going to walk from, Shell Harbour in Wollongong to Gerringong, which is on the coast there. If you know the area, anyone who knows the area and wants to come on down, we're actually going to finish at a place called Sea Vista Cafe. That's sort of fairly closely affiliated with me and some of my team and friends and family and whatever. So we're going to start in Shell Harbour. We're going to do the walk. A couple of buddies are going to come along for the ride as well, and they're going to come along to Kosciuszko, which would be great. And and we're going to hopefully raise a few dollars. I'm going to see if I can talk to the people at Sea Vista about running a bit of a fundraiser there for us that we can then put forward to the troops or to the Soldier On charity. And if all goes well, the little bloke's going to come. I think he's going to bring his scooter. He's 8, so a 20-odd kilometre walk's probably a bit much to do without a set of wheels to help. But he's keen to do it. And then we'll get back on track. So and then prepare for Kosciuszko, which obviously we want to make our big grand finale for the whole shit show. And hopefully, look, if we can hit the 2,500, but more importantly, as long as we've done that by the last day, I think I'll be ecstatic. If we can smash that out of the water, I'll be even happier. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm very excited for Kosciuszko. That it's something I've had on my bucket list forever anyway. Just go and climb Australia's tallest mountain. What's wrong with you? Pull your finger out. So this was the perfect opportunity to do it.
Hell, you got big fucking hairy cojones, man. Physically, I'm not capable of fucking doing that anymore. So,
well, I haven't served in the army, you see, so I've got to ask and have a crack. Jess, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, mate. We've just hit the 25-minute live stream. Fantastic having you aboard as always. Shame the other blokes weren't available, but look, they're out there clocking the kilometres. So anyone watching, jump on their pages, donate to them if you like them better than you like me. And everyone knows I don't care about stuff like that. Pick who you want to support. Watch them, like them, share, give them some fucking encouragement because they're working their asses off to raise money for vets having a tough time. So I think it's a great cause. Great work, guys. Everybody, let's catch up next week.
You're the fucking duck nuts, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, buddy.